Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ray Castillo, and alongside me here, again, we have Lewis Bradshaw and Robbie Brown. After a short break, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about scores around the LSC, and we're going to talk about the Javelinas' performance a week ago, and we're going to talk about the good things we saw and the not so good things. We'll be right back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ray Castillo, and I have my good LSC friends here with me, Lewis Bradshaw and Robbie Brown. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about on our segment is some scores around the Lone Star Conference from last week. We had McMurray University with a 26-17 win over Houston Baptist. We had A&M Commerce with a 98-20 win over East Texas Baptist. We have West Texas falling to Colorado State Pueblo 35-6, and Midwestern State will be kicking off their season against Missouri S&T, and Tarleton kicks off their season against West Texas, who, like the Javelinas, are 0-1. Now, guys, I just wanted to talk about the Javelinas now. Last week, tough loss. We went into halftime with our 7-3 lead. I'll start with you, Lewis. What are some things that the Javelinas did last week that let that lead slip?
Well, the two big plays were the 14 points. The 96-yard second half kickoff return got, I think, him an honor from the Lone Star Conference. The 62-yard shovel pass worked well. We let go of some potential good things through about 4 or 5 plays that I looked at more like first games can be first games. They're trying to get it, work as a team, work cohesively, and we'll see tonight. That should improve.
Well, I have a feeling that they worked on special teams quite a bit this week. We had the 2 missed field goals. We had a punt that went downfield, and when they punted, it hit one of our blockers downfield, turned the ball over. And then we had 2 bad snaps on punts of ours, one of which was blocked for a touchdown, and one when the punter went down to a knee and was down immediately, and that led to another touchdown right away. And you take away, just a handful of plays, and we would have won the ball game.
That's right, a few plays here and there, and it could have been a different outcome. Obviously, a tough way to start the season, but it is early, and the bright side is it wasn't a conference matchup.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I just want to get you guys' input. I'll start with you, Lewis. So Trey Mitchell got his feet wet last week. He finally went onto the field. He got some action with the Javelinas. Talk about some things that you saw in our quarterback.
Well, I think he was recruited primarily as a running quarterback, and we did see some of that. He needs to get maybe more in sync with his receivers, and his receivers more in sync with him. I think that may come.
Yeah, he made good decisions.
He did.
On the option read, when
He
to
did.
hold on to it and when to get rid of it. He's not the most fleet of foot, so he's not going to break anything for 70 or 80-yard touchdown, but he gets positive yards.
Right.
He does need to work on the accuracy on his passing. That was woefully lacking last week, though.
That's right.
Yeah, guys, and in the receiver end of things, Musa Mahmoud, he's one of the guys that A&M Kingsville has gone to in the past. Now, last week he couldn't seem to get in rhythm. What do you look for him to have? Do you look for him to have a big game today?
Well, I hope so. He looked out of sync, and I don't know whether that was Trey being off a little bit or always reasons for that. But I'm with Robbie. I think they worked on special teams and probably on those receivers too.
Yeah, it's going to take a little while for a new quarterback to get in sync and build up that timing with his receivers. This would be a pretty good week to do so. I think Colorado Mesa last week against Dixie State gave up 600 yards offense, 400 on the ground, and about 200 through the air. So this is a good opportunity for the offense to get in sync.
Yes.
That's good. And, guys, we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about what the Hoggies need to do to prepare for Colorado Mesa, their opponent today. And we're going to talk about next week's showdown as A&M goes into their first Lone Star Conference matchup in Arlington. This is the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ray Castillo, and we will be right back.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Welcome back to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ray Castillo. I have Robbie Brown and Lewis Bradshaw here with me. Now, guys, we talked about the LSC, the scores around the league from a week ago. We talked about the Javelina's weaknesses and some brights that we did see about our quarterback as well. Now I want to talk about our opponent, Colorado Mesa. You know, a week ago, their special teams was unbelievable as they returned 2 touchdowns. Now, last week against Humboldt State, A&M Kingsville struggled a little bit on special teams, allowing points and returns. So can you talk about what are some things that we're going to need to improve on against a powerful team that Mesa presents in that fashion?
Well, I think it goes back to our passing game again. We need a passing game. Special teams work during the week. I'm sure we'll add to that. And if you look at that game on paper that Mesa had against Dixie, you wonder how they came away with the win, really. So maybe we can. I'm sure our coaches have looked at that, and they're seeing what we see, and I'm sure we're prepared.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the return game was hurting us so much on special teams last week. It was getting the punts off. That was the big problem. That's the block punt, and then down on the bad snap, leading to another touchdown. You just have to be disciplined, stay in your lane, and do what you're supposed to do on special teams. And other than the snaps, we were okay last week.
Right, guys. And speaking of special teams, you look at the weather right now. The wind is a little high. The weather is going to play a little factor tonight. What can you talk about Max Lenning, our kicker? Talk about how that's going to affect him, and talk about some things that the special team's going to need to be ready for going into a game like this.
Well, the wind, it's probably more psychological than having an actual effect on it. The wet field is going to mess with your mind as well. He just needs to be focused on doing what he does all the time, and if he can get it in his mind that the field is dry and the conditions are calm, he'll be fine.
Robbie and I have been watching games here for a lot of years, and up until 3 years ago, can you imagine what a game in the stadium would have been tonight? sponge, is what it felt like. So I think our guys are used to that to the point where I don't think that'll be a factor.
And with the weather, obviously the Javelinas are going to give it all they have. Do you look for Greg Petrie to have a breakout game tonight?
Well, I think the running game has a great opportunity ahead of him. He needs a little bit of space because he's not the biggest back in the world. Sean Vasquez looked like he was having a good game last week, but I think he got dinged up a little bit in the second half. They moved a couple of defensive backs over to the offensive side, TJ McCullough, and I forget who the other DB is, but they moved him to running back so they'd have a little bit more depth. But this is the golden opportunity for them to put up some big yards.
All right, guys, and just real quick, I want to touch on our next week opponent. I know I'm getting a little ahead. We still got Colorado Mesa to deal with, but next week does involve our first Lone Star Conference showdown. It'll be the first matchup of the season. Now, A&M Commerce is coming off a huge, 98-20 win against a East Dallas Baptist team. Now, obviously, they're not, I guess, the elite football team in their district, but an offense that produced those kind of points, do the Javelinas have something to worry about?
Oh, we have plenty to worry about. Cowboy Stadium, AT&T Stadium, has been a challenge for us since we first started playing. We did beat Monterey Tech last year there. I don't think it's intimidation in years past. We've played West Texas a lot, but with Commerce, they look pretty strong to me. They look like probably a contender to maybe win the Lone Star Conference this year. So I'd go into that one serious.
Well, we saw last year they're a quick strike team. Right before half, they blocked a punt for a touchdown and intercepted a pass. It led to another touchdown. And the margin of loss for us in that game ended up being 14 points. So Coach Carthel goes for the big plays. He goes for the big strikes. He takes chances. Tonight, they're facing Stephen F. Austin, which is a football championship subdivision club in FCS. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do against a team with more scholarships than they have to offer.
And that will be definitely a matchup to watch out for. Now, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to discuss our picks for tonight's game, and we're going to get these guys' predictions of what's going to happen tonight for the Javelinas. You're watching the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ray Castillo, and we will be right back.
You'll find more than a great education here. You'll find friendships that last a lifetime, thanks to our family-like living learning communities. Like Turner Hall, the men's dorm where music students enjoy their own basketball court, grill, big screen TV, and more. And Bishop Hall, where female musicians have their own volleyball court, lobby, and study room. Live and work with others who share your goals at Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, a recreation center with everything you'd expect in a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Silverware, pa los que saben. Pronto Insurance, auto insurance pa los que saben. Stop by for a free quote starting at $29 per month. Blender, pa los que saben. Pronto Insurance, auto insurance pa los que saben. Stop by for a free quote starting at $29 per month.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ray Castillo. I have Robbie Brown and Lewis Bradshaw here with me. Now, before we go, I want to get our picks for tonight's game for the Javelinas against Colorado Mesa State. I'll start with you, Robbie. What's going to be the final score, and what is A&M Kingsville going to do tonight that's going to get them that victory?
I'm going to pick us to win 28-24. We're not going to have the special teams meltdown that we did last week, and we're going to run the ball for 250 yards.
I would agree with Rob. I'll change the score a little bit. I think a few more points scored than that, maybe 35-28. I think we win. I think the coaches hopefully have made those adjustments that will allow us to do that.
All right, guys. Well, you've been watching the Pepsi Tailgate Central. For Louis Bradshaw and Robbie Brown, I'm Ray Castillo. And don't forget to tune back in with us at 3:30 for Cindy Hernandez. Will be on her trainer report, and we'll have that for you right here on the Pepsi Tailgate Central. And thank you for watching, guys.
Texas A&M University Kingsville thanks you for watching this special presentation of student-directed and produced media by the Javelina Broadcast Network.